So, I kind of want to make another video, relating to another thing I've been thinking about. Not been thinking about really, just reflecting more and more on myself. And regretting some decisions I made last year and whatever. I kind of want to make a video, not just to motivate myself, but to you guys as well. And today's motivation is work hard. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by work hard? Now, obviously, if I wrote that on paper and give it to you, work hard in Pacific class, or work hard on this day to get this paycheck, or make sure you give it your all at your job, right? Pretty simple. Pretty simple when I say work hard. But what does that mean to do it on a full 200-day basis? 3-day weekends, though, on every week. With a few holiday, Christmas break or Easter break, whatever. Now, that's where it gets a little fishy. Like, not fishy, but a little jumpy. I have a confession to make. I don't want to confess it, but throughout most of my life, let's just say, I'm kind of lazy. I don't like saying that out loud. Whew, okay, a lot of weight, just relieved, just saying. Don't like to admit that. But yeah, no, I'm lazy. Very lazy. Not, I don't know, I wouldn't say mentally lazy, but physically, yeah. I've been noticing. But through my every year of high school, I noticed that I'm severely lazy. I never tried. I would get really good marks, but they weren't my best. I knew I could do better. Hundreds. Even though these marks were 85, 90, 95s, and you could say, oh, like, Jarmy, that's really good. Like, what do you mean that's bad? And that's where I kind of want to get to the video with saying that there's always more to improve on. But unfortunately, and I blame myself for this, I never took the time to reflect on these past emotions. Sure, I may have improved on being a better person, being kind, but the one thing I never could fix was how cocky I was and just how self-centered I am when it comes to the academics. And I've never hit my lowest ever since till now in grade 11. Overall average, 66. And people will say, but Jarmy, that's a pass. That's a pass. How are you disappointed with a pass? That pass was done lazily. That pass was not done with effort. If I had to be doing that with effort and get that pass, I feel much better about myself. But I can't. And you know that saying where you can't rewrite the past, but you can always change the future? That's been digging at me for a long time. I don't like to show it or express it, but yeah, no, it's been bothering me for a very, very, very long time. I'm not the guy who likes to talk about those kind of emotions or feelings, but it's such a weird thing to lie about, right? Like, such a weird thing to hide, but we all have our weird demons, I guess, we don't like talking about, and mine, admitting that I'm lazy with it. Maybe even severely lazy, I don't know. This has been the first time in my life of 17 years of actually dedicating something now. It is a little bit shame to say it out loud, but it's true. And I will always 95% blame myself. Because again, at any point in my life, I could have said, oh, hey, if we want to be, like I said with my YouTube, we want to be 10,000, 100,000, a million, 10 million, we got to put work in. If I want to be a theoretical physicist, I got to put the work in. If I want to be a mathematician, I put the work into advanced math. Right? I got to put the work in. Throughout my entire life, I never put any work in. Because I don't want to sound narcissistic. I always just could adapt to things really quickly. And unfortunately, there was no consequence to it. I could just look at something and, you know what I mean? And over time, you kind of get lazy because there's no challenge to you. I know it sounds stupid because, there's always more to learn. So, it's jarring. There's always more to learn. You need to learn more, and I agree. But it's the same thing with drawing. I gotten so good at drawing, I didn't need to go to drawing school anymore. Like, I improved in such a short time that I deemed myself, like, I don't need to go to school for this anymore. I can just I can teach myself more. And I could say the same thing with math and physics, but, within those fields, you need to have a PhD to prove that, hey, I'm a mathematician. But the one thing I say that I feel really, I think this is the moment in my time I actually feel important. Like, I'm doing something that I should. Like, I feel like I'm now feeling like I matter. Like, I feel like I now feel like I'm doing something with effort. And the first time in a very long time, I felt great about it. I feel really great about it. And that's not something that usually comes by, because usually I feel monotone. Not sad, not angry. No, don't worry about that, chat. Just very mundane. If you guys give me a minute, if I can find it, I don't know if I still have it. I may have threw it out. Shit. What thing? Oh, that's a problem. Did I throw it out? No. Aw, man. Well, no. I got it now. This is one of my report cards. Again, from last year. I don't know if this is the final one. Let me read them out. Career. Career was severely easy. My name has performed well academically this term. My name needs to work on time management skills. Again, another factor. Lazy. I know this is severely embarrassing, but like I said, just showing off. Like, I'm not... Again, performed well, didn't try. And who's someone who likes to be cocky and whatever, that's not, My name, I found to be a little overconfident when completing assessments. I feel that it has not benefited me this year. Has not benefited me any year. And, this is like a self-reflection on, I feel like I wasted the other 16 years. In my opinion. Maybe you guys like the work I do. Maybe you guys like my drawings, my videos, my live streams. I felt like I wasted 16 years of my life being this caricature. And it's something I couldn't control. Like, I could control. I'm not trying to play the whole, this is who I am. You can't change it. Like, no. Like, you can improve, but you can't change those kind of things about you, though. Okay, it's very important that you need to take your time and always ask questions. If you are not sure about something, I think taking your time to truly understand the assessment is asking benefit. Always pleasure having you in class. My physics, a determined effort is needed. Do not give up. More independent preparation for test. So what that one was about, I was really good at physics, but the thing was, I would never take, as we keep saying, the time to check on test and actually prepare for test. Because see, in our curriculum, assignments and tests are very different, how they assess the questions. So typically what you would do after you're done completing your science and workbook, you may have to actually research on other things, because tests is made to go beyond the workbook you have. So yeah, but not much. It may only be 5% off or 10% off, they may go, if you don't look into it. Math. Again, as we just keep saying, more prep. I need to take more time in entrepreneurship. 2 assessment items are incomplete. Mark can improve. Following submission of following items. My name has performed well academically this term. Sunny is a very polite and friendly student and pleasure having class. My name has performed well academically this year. Again, social is not hard. My name, work habits are inconsistent. Again, showing off. I'm not lying. That's just who I am. Bottoms up. No mirrors, no glass, no holograms, no AI. Just full authentic me. That was me. That was not fake. This is a real report card. I just can't show because there's, again, showing off again. Teachers' names, my name, schools, which I will not be showing, because again, and my phone number will not be doing. But yeah. Because I was lazy, that's going to not affect me in the long term, but affect me in the short term. And while I will blame myself, I never was personally taught to work hard. Is that weird to say? I'm not saying that I was done a terrible job being raised. No, I know how to work hard and put the time in for jobs and whatever. But what I mean is, I don't think a teacher sat down with me and personally said, hey, my name, you need to put time in. You are lazy. I know it's not their job, which it shouldn't be their job, but I'm just saying that I will 95% blame myself, maybe 96, but there's that 3 or 4%, you know what I mean? That 3 to 4%, because while I take responsibility as a child, is it really fully my fault? Maybe. But I was never taught that factor. Or maybe I wasn't paying attention. Again, there are some things that I didn't pay attention to, and it's fucked me over and I had to take time out of a weekend to do it, because again, teachers in my school are so low and so full of stuff that they can't repeat it, unfortunately. We don't have that kind of resource. And I took advantage of that. I took it for granted. So now, because of that, the university I really want to go to is Waterloo in Ontario. I may not get accepted for full, early, but maybe because again, how it would work at that point, they had to look at my grade 12 marks. So I would have to take a gap year, which I already planned that. That was not a secret. Taking 1 to 2 gap years. That was not a secret. No secret to it, right? But also besides that, it's weird to explain, because what I'm saying is it feels common sense to some of you guys, and some of you guys will say in the chat, but in the comments, oh, but Jeremy, why don't you just put a schedule? Oh, but Jeremy, why don't you do a clock? Oh, Jeremy, why don't you just put 1 hour in? Jeremy, why don't you just do 20 minutes? Why don't you just do 5 minutes? Why don't you just 1 minute? Why can't you just do anything? Why are you blaming yourself? This was such an easy fix. For some of you guys, most of you guys, but for someone who wasn't not rewarded for hard work, but rewarded for how smart I was. I want to sound narcissistic. I know it's people smarter than me, but that's not what I'm trying to say. But I was more rewarded for being smart and not the putting the time in. And I know it's still blaming myself, no one else's fault. That is still a factor to play in, right? Like, that's not just a factor that comes out of nowhere. But the message I want to give you guys is, it doesn't matter if you're Nikola Tesla smart, or Isaac Newton smart, or John Henry working. Like, you need to put both time in and your brain in, right? For the school year. And go to bed at a good time. Make sure you eat healthy stuff. Don't eat junk food as much, Don't overdo yourself. Don't overdo. Just because some teachers say you have to, don't. But the overall message I kind of want to give you guys is, don't do that. Don't. And even if you are grade 10, grade 9, grade 8, grade 7, grades, whatever grade you may be in, don't do that. Because again, if you do that, like I did for grade 4, grade 5, grade 6, grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, it becomes a wired habit that's hard to get out of. As we just seen, chat, like that was almost my whole entire school life. Unfortunately. I'm ashamed to say it out loud, but it's true. Throughout my almost entire school life, I don't feel like I put my 100% in. Truly. I may say it, but I mean truly put 100% effort. Pure effort. I don't think I did. I don't think I really did. You can flame me, you can say I'm an idiot, you can call me all that. Who cares? I deserve it. But, overall, what I want to say is, don't do that. Don't do that. It's not worth it. It's not worth your mental health. It's not worth your time. Because at the end of the day, what you want to do in school, your peers don't suffer. Your teachers don't suffer. Only you suffer. Your teacher's still going to get a paycheck and go home. Because they did their job, and they did. They did do their job. They tried and you didn't listen or whatever. They still get the paycheck. Their paycheck's not getting affected. Your peers are getting better marks because they put the time in. Now, when I'm saying put the time, I'm not saying put a 10-hour whole session on. Don't do that. That's fucking stupid. Whoever's telling you to do that, stop that. Stop that. Don't do that. 20 minutes to an hour, 2 hours max. Don't go the whole 8-hour route. Because at that time, you're bored. Because again, if you're not interested in that topic, most of the time, you're not doing it for studying. I can tell you right now. So don't do that. Pace yourself. Respect your sleep. Respect your mental health. Because at the end of the day, while you have to put the time in, you have to treat yourself great. You have to respect yourself first. You have to put your sleep first. You have to put your mental first before school. Right? I'm not saying school's not important, but I'm saying you have to put yourself first before you put school first. Don't ever put school in front of you. Because at the end of the day, it gets money, it gets good students, it gets good reputation, and you don't get anything. School does. You don't. You getting a bad mark doesn't affect school. Or teachers. Like, again, I'll go one more tangent. There was one moment I tried to care. There's one moment. But you know what happened? Nope. One try. Oh, that test you didn't know about? One try. And because I was so full of this ego, I couldn't get in my mind of moving on. because I was so full of myself and saying, oh, that's just one test, that's just one thing, instead of moving on, I would keep looking back at it and not the future. I would keep looking back at this unit and not the next unit. And that's been a lifelong habit that couldn't be fixed by anyone. But you know who can fix it? Me. I can fix it. But I didn't. Why? Why didn't I do it? Why I couldn't do it? Why couldn't I do it in grade 10? Why can't I do it in grade 9? Why didn't I do it in grade 8? Why not grade 7, 6, 5, or 4? Right? Like, I don't want to say it was fully my fault, but no one physically took it away from me. No one took away my ability to say, hey, you can't work on you anymore. You're done. No one took that ability away, but it wasn't their job to. But that's what I'm not trying to say it's fully their fault, but like, no one looked at me and said, you are done. You're done with that unit, move on to the next, or you're failing. And I felt like I kind of needed that. I kind of needed someone to tell me that, but unfortunately no one did. Because again, it's not their job to. Their job is to teach you within their time, within the work, and then give you the notes within their time of the work, and go home. Their job's not being Mr. Miyagi, their job's not being Master Shifu or Master Oogway, their job's not being Master Roshi. Their job is just to be a teacher because they're getting paid. And listen, I'm not saying they're not nice. Like, I have some really nice teachers I will miss. But there will be some other teachers I hate and despise and will never miss. I have nothing against them. I think, when I say I hate a teacher, I hate the profession version of them. I don't hate the personal, real life, slice of life, at home, playing tennis, going to Mary Brown's, Tim Hortons, kind of taking care of their kids. I'm not talking about that version. I'm talking about when they step out of school, put on their uniform, whatever, and start teaching. That's what I hate. Right? I'm not trying to say that I hate the person individually and personally. I will never do that. Right? Don't ever get the wrong picture. I don't do that. But what I'm saying is, like, let's not, be too full of ourselves. Because, like I said, the only one who will suffer is you. No one else. No one else will suffer. And I'm not trying to be mean, but, like, I don't know. I just feel, and going back to the testing, no one in my life took the ability away to do that. And I'm not going to sit here and blame anyone, but like, no one took that ability away from me. No one sat me down, physically took my last unit, tear it up. No one did that. Not my teachers, not my friends, not my family, not no one. So at the end of the day, it was a harsh, long lesson, but it was a lesson I had to learn. I don't like to admit it, but it's true. It sucks. That's in the past. I can't fix it. I'm not rich. I don't have the money to pay a teacher legally and say, hey, can I redo my previous tests to improve my grade 11 score? Like, I don't have the money to do that. I don't have a few $100,000 to do it. And for like, I'm actually like, stop the whole monologue or discussion. I think that is possible. Getting like a tutor or teacher and legally like assess you some things for that. But I could be wrong, anyways. But no, I don't have the money. So unfortunately, my grade 11 mark is permanently stuck at a 66. Until I get money or I'm rich, it's stuck at that. And that's that. There's nothing I can do. It's going to be stuck at a 66. Which hurts. More than ever. Because again, as I said, and I can't change it. I sadly can't change it, but I can be a better person, learn from my mistakes. I have a big ego. I am self-centered. I'm a little bit nurse, I'm not going to say it fully, because like I said, I could be wrong. But I like to consider I'm the best. And I know it sounds really bad, and it is bad, but it makes me feel better, right? But I can't say that, because it's such a terrible thing to say. But that's the way I perceive it. And it's a problem. And I know it's a problem. But, it's a hard battle. And a battle that's lasting over a decade is coming to an end, because now I've kind of came to sit down and realize that no one personally is going to pick me up from my feet and say, hey, you need to do this. Like, you need to do that. I need to do that. I need to give myself that lesson. I need to learn that. I need to teach myself that. I need to learn to take responsibility. I need to learn, like, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? While it would have been great at such a young age to learn, hey, you're gifted, but you have to put time in. You're going to put time in. I've never personally sit down and said, hey, you need to stop with this previous unit. It's over. Please move on to the next. Because like I said, at the end of the day, it's not their job to. Their job is to hand out notes, go to the screen, teach what they need to teach you, sit down, go home, repeat. That's it. It was never in their job description to do it. And I know it was not. But I wish I could go back to the past and tell my younger self, hey, younger Jarmy, stop being an egotistical, like, piece of shit. Stop shitting on people for your problems and mental health. Stop shitting on people for your problems that you could have been trying to fix yourself. That's all I wish I'd say, man. But anyways, do your best, chat. Do your best. Comment anything you want to comment. I'll ask any question you want. And that's it. I want y'all to be successful, man. You got, again, put your mind to it, man. Nothing can stop you. Don't even let me, your friends or family, tell you that you can't do something. Don't even let me do it. If you think you can do it and you put the time in, you can fucking do it. Okay? You can fucking do it. Anyways, that's all I gotta say.